Good afternoon and welcome to part one of an episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Hey everybody. Well, I just wanted to show you what I've done thus far today, and the hard work is over. So I got all that compost from the grow club put into the bed. I still need to finish raking. And speaking of rakes, I meant to tell y'all last week I had my long rake out, my long one that's metal, and it was laying on the ground. Y'all, for the first time ever, I stepped on a rake. When I tell you that I saw the Star-Spangled Banner, that thing hit me, knocked my glasses off. I thought they had broke my glasses, but they didn't. But they knocked my glasses off, hurt the bridge of my nose, thought that was broken. I saw the Star-Spangled Banner, and I found out why it yet waves, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna hit this garlic with another dose of the bone meal since I put that compost in it today. I think the compost is good. I can still smell it, so I know it's compost. It's just too rocky for me, and I prefer the black cow anyway, so here it is. So let's see if that garlic takes off. Diana, I saw your garlic video today, and I did respond telling you let's do an experiment, and I'll be the butt of the experiment because your garlic looks so good. We know that banana water is going to help you, but instead of me biting off of you and messing up some bananas just so I can have the fertilizer, I'm gonna go on and keep with the bone meal, and I have the compost here. So let's see how our bulbs turn out, because we planted at the exact same time and we should be harvesting at the exact same time. Plus, this is my free garlic. It's the Music and German variety. It came from the Grow Club last September, and I planted it out in early October when it stopped raining on us, because y'all know we get a lot of rain in September too, and October. So we had a nice day one day, and I was like, let me get this garlic in the ground. The front garlic was planted in October as well, but that garlic actually came from a company called Keane, K-E-A-N-E. And Homestead Heart, she raved about the company, and that's where she gets her garlic. So when she ordered her garlic, she sent out word, order your garlic. And so I did. So I think that was in July, either June or July of last year, and it came to me probably later September, because I think that King garlic came after that garlic that I put in the bed, because that's where I planned to put the King garlic. And so since I had planted the free garlic there, I decided to dig a ditch up front and plant the garlic there, and it came up. So we shall see. So I'm gonna hit that again with some bone meal. Since my potatoes have come up, I really want the potatoes to get the phosphorus. And I'm thinking of maybe, you know what, this 12-24-12 fertilizer, I'm thinking of using that for a couple of the potatoes up front, not all of them, just to see, because potatoes flower too. So I'm wondering if the phosphorus, that 24 phosphorus content in that fertilizer will help the potatoes. Somebody, listen, experts, y'all know, those of you who have grown potatoes, let me know, am I making a mistake or not? I won't do it today. Please comment and say, Q, stick with what you know, or Q, you can experiment with one. And the ones up front are from the ones I bought at Menards. The ones in the back are the ones that I ordered. So I wouldn't dare do it to the ones that I ordered and paid big money for. But the ones up front, remember I paid, what, $5 for them at Menards? It might have been less than that, because remember the 11% off sale, which is still going on, was going on at that time too, and it just started. Okay, so I finished bringing everything into the greenhouse. Let me walk over before we start the strawberries. That's what we're gonna do on this film. Let's walk over. And I brought everything else out here, all my seed starting stuff. I moved that flower, y'all. And I got everything. I have to take that peroxide back in. because that's going to be for my peppers next year. My plants did well, as you can see. They all need water though, because it's kind of hot in here. It's only 65 degrees outside, but it's about 85 in here, if not higher. So everything is doing good. I moved my strawberries and they seem to be doing better already. I moved them from this crate to this crate. So they may be two different varieties or they may be the same, but I just moved them in here and they seem to have done good. And I see a new one coming up right there. That's the reason why I moved them, because it's starting to spread. Then there was one here that's just like the ones in that thing, so I might work on that one too. This one is developing more plants, as you can see, the crown. So I'm gonna work with those strawberries because those are my good ones. Grapevine still doing good over here. Okay, now, and I'm not seeing, wait, I'm seeing more vines, but I'm not seeing any fruit set. I guess it's too early for Michigan. We usually start seeing fruit set. Well, when I bought that grapevine, this one, actually, when it gave me fruit, I bought this one in the month, I bought it like late June, and it gave me fruit that year. So it was just doing the fruit set then, so I'm not too worried yet. But I see that the vines are coming along, but I want some fruit on it. Okay, now, and I found another crate. I filled this after I dumped the compost. I filled that bucket. What I'm gonna do, it's gonna take me longer, and I don't mind it taking me longer. Oh, I brought my smocks in too. I have 2 smocks. When I was my mother's caregiver, I believe it was a nurse, because it was early on. My mother had had a life and death emergency. In fact, it was early on because my brother passed away suddenly in 2015, December of 2015. And he was her head, you know, POA before he passed. And so this emergency must have happened in 2014, I believe. And my brother, you know, he called the shots as her POA and everything. But I was her caregiver at the time. And mine was still in the nursing home. She came home that April of 2014. So this was before April. I was still, you know, she was in the nursing home, and I was still, you know, I was still her caregiver because I was at that nursing home every single day. I went to dialysis, all that. But a nurse, and I can't remember, it was a nurse at the hospital. Mom had an emergency. And so when it came time to give the medications, I was able to rattle, because everybody else looking for the list. I knew her medications by heart, so I started rattling off those medications, and the doctor said, I need you on my team. And a nurse told me that day, you know what you need to do as her caregiver is, she said, you need to distinguish yourself. And she said, may I suggest to you that you get, she's like, you can go to the uniform place right up the street, because it was less than a mile from the hospital that we were at the time. She said, may I suggest that you go right up the street to Anna's Uniform, which is where I went. She said, and get you a couple of smocks or some scrubs. She said, because you want to be comfortable too. And so my sister and I had discussed about hospital, because I would be rugged, and we had discussed that. And I was like, you know what, Sherry, I don't think they take me seriously because I'm not dressed to the nines when I come up here. Everybody else is at least dressed casually and nicely, but me, I'm down in the trenches of this. I'm not thinking about how I'm going to dress. If there's an emergency, shoot, if I have to come naked, ooh, that would have been a sight, huh? I'm going to do it. And my sister said, but you know what? Perhaps you should, because lots of times they give you better respect if you dress nicely. So then I thought about what that nurse had suggested, because I didn't do it just that day. I did it maybe a couple of weeks later. And so I went on up to Anna's Uniform, because Mom was still in the hospital at the time. I went up to Anna's Uniform one day after I left the hospital, and they had these smocks, these 2 smocks on sale. And they had a pair of blue scrubs, which just fell apart on me last year. I finally threw them away. And I have a pair of gray scrubs. They had the deep pockets. That really came in handy for me, because I could just put stuff in my pocket. I didn't have to worry about carrying bags and purses and stuff. I had all the important things in my pockets. And then later on, I could get my bag out the car or whatever. And so that came in handy. And I bought a name tag. And so this stuff was on clearance, so I spent no more than maybe $40 for the 2 outfits and the name tag. And that really worked. I would use that. Whenever mom had to go to the hospital, dialysis, I always wore my smock. Well, the dialysis people knew me, but sometimes she would have to go to the hospital after dialysis. So I always had my smock with me. It was either in the car or on me, because if I was cold or something like that, it would keep me warm. And so anyway, the tag, I wore the tag. And so whenever I came against strangers at the hospital, which ended up becoming more and more rare as time went on, because I cared for her for 7 years, so everybody at the hospital knew me. They still know me. When I'm in the hospital, they be like, Q, what you doing in here? They, a lot of them know me who are still working there. But anyway, that worked, and they automatically would approach me. And my name tag didn't have my name. It just said caregiver. And so they would see that, they would spot me, they would come to me, start asking questions. So my sister and brother, if they were there, or, later on just my sister, they automatically knew to approach me about any information, especially once mom came home and she, was living right there. We were living together and everything. So if you ever become a caregiver, remember that. When my brother died, when my mom got to attend his funeral, she had to be transported via ambulance. And so I rode in the ambulance with them, and everything. But when we got there, so many people, because my brother was a funeral director, so everybody in our town knew him, and everybody was there, okay? Even during that snowstorm, because he, like my father, died in the winter, and everybody knew my father too, because he was an auto mechanic. Over 1,000 people attended both of their funerals. And then we felt cheated with mama, because we knew that a lot would attend her funeral because she knew a lot of people, but the pandemic had just hit, so we could only invite 10 guests. So it was just mama's family, not even all of them, just 10. Mama's 2 best friends, and her, and then us, basically the family. And it was more than 10 of us, but they snuck a few of us in the back, but that's all that could be there. And then a lot of our family and friends came, and they viewed the funeral, because it was filmed, from the parking lot of the funeral home. So when we went to the cemetery, you could best believe it was a lot of people, and we felt the support, and it was beautiful. But anyway, we felt cheated, and then it dawned on me. I was like, I was like, mama probably had more attendees at her funeral than my father and brother put together, because it was televised. They live screened it, and we posted the link. And a lot of people were so invested in my late mother, because I would share funny stories and different things, about her during that 7-year journey. So all my friends on Facebook, and I have over 4,000 friends on Facebook, some that I know personally and some that I don't, that have followed me throughout the years for close to 20 years now. They all watched that funeral. In fact, my god sister tried to watch it, and she said her computer crashed. It kept crashing, but she finally got in on it towards the end. And so that let me know that a lot of people watched it. But how did I go down that rabbit hole? But anyway, so that's the reason for the smocks. I'm ending it. Okay, now on to the strawberries. Okay, so I'm gonna set the camera up, and I'm gonna dig up the white pine, and then the Ozark, and I'm gonna do what the video said. I already made up my soil. Oh, I know what I was getting ready to say before I ventured off into the smock explanation. What I'm doing, it may take me a little bit longer, but instead of loading up the wagon and amending the soil that way, which I prefer to do, I could probably still do that though. Yeah, because I'm in the greenhouse. I may as well I'll just carry the crates in here. But I was thinking of just dumping the crates into the wagon. Wait, how was I? Oh no, I was gonna roll the crates in. I don't know what I was gonna do. Never mind, scratch that. What I'm gonna do is bring the crates in by 3, empty it into the wagon, amend the soil, fill up the crates, and then, after I fill the crates, the wagon will be empty like it is now. That's what I did with this and that container there. After I used up all the soil, then I put the 2 strawberry crates onto the wagon and I rolled it in here. After I get the strawberries planted, I will roll it over there and I'm gonna put it on the top shelf. Those grapevines are gonna, I'm thinking of move, no, I can't move them because they need to climb the poles. I might move them down a little, well, I can't even move them down. So I'll move the strawberries to the left of the good batch of strawberries. And so, and there's 2 spots over there too, so that's gonna be perfect. Okay, and then everything else I'll start stacking at the bottom. But anyway, so that's how I'll do it. I'll just bring the crates in 3 at a time, or however many it takes to fill the wagon, get my compost in, get the soil amended, and then go on to get the plants transplanted. I'm gonna start with the tomatoes, and one of those, the tallest tomato, is gonna go into that container. Okay, so I'm gonna just do one at a time. So I'm gonna be working sitting down today, but I'm not gonna come on film for everything. I'm just gonna do these strawberries, and we've already been on here 15 minutes, so let me get started. I'm drinking water, y'all. I'm gonna actually just do one. So I'm gonna set this camera up on the mushroom table so that you can see me doing what I'm doing. And then once I do this one, then you'll know what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna end it. All right, y'all. One more look at the greenhouse. Ooh, I'm just loving it. I'm loving sitting in here working. I even have a pollinator in here. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see me. Hey, y'all. Oops. Can't let the blackberry block the camera. Okay, so now let me get my amendments, which I forgot. And these I'm amending separately. The rest of the stuff will be amended in the wagon, but I have to amend these strawberries separately because of the berry tone. So let me, actually I can go and amend. Okay, berry tone, that's number 1. I'm gonna put a little soil acidifier in it too, because strawberries take a slightly acidic soil. And I'm bringing all the amendments over because I'm gonna be amending all day. This is my tomato amendment. Let's see, the bone meal, chicken manure, and blood meal is the one. Remember yesterday I was saying it was something else I needed to get, and I don't need it yet, but it'll be, because I'm like over halfway through the bag. So it's blood meal that I'm gonna need to pick up. And I'm gonna bring this over. You know what? I usually don't use shake and feed, but I have in the past. They've always worked good for my peppers. And one thing, I looked at the ingredients. Hold on, let me get this. I know I'm gonna be using this again. Okay, let me try not to fall here. Whew, made it. Okay. The reason why I'm going to use some of that shake and feed, specifically in the peppers, and I might sprinkle just a little bit everywhere else. It has, in fact, I'm going to add it to my amendments. I looked at the ingredients yesterday, and one of the ingredients, first of all, it contains blood meal and bone meal. This is the writing is so small. Okay, this is a 12-4-8. So it has 12 of nitrogen, 4 of the phosphorus, and 8 of the K, which is your potassium. But one of the ingredients, other than bone meal and blood meal, it also contains feather meal. And I heard Homestead Heart saying that she loves her feather meal. And I've been looking for feather meal, and the feather meal online costs too darn much. I'm like, I ain't buying that for that little bag. So since this contains feather meal, I said that will at least give me a little bit of feather meal. Okay, so this soil here is already amended, but the one thing I do need to add to it is the berry tone. So let's get that in here right now. Okay, and I'll add up just a wee bit more after I get the, and I am going to add a handful of black cow just for good measure. Just to be at the top here. So they really get a good start. Because I'm planting these like they're new. Basically, what you're doing, if the roots are still alive, you cut the root to give it a boost. And then after you cut the root of the strawberry, it makes it, you think of planting, okay, if you're planting strawberries, rooted strawberries that don't have the plants, it's the exact same concept. And they said that 9 times out of 10, your plants will take off again as if you're planting them new. And you will be able to revive your plant. I might not get strawberries off of it this year, but if I could save the plant and save that $30, then it's worth it. And if it don't live, okay, fine. It's already dead if it don't, you know, come back for me. So first of all, let's dig up, we're going to dig up the white pine first. And this soil will go right back into the soil, although it does have a little berry, tone in it, but it's not that much. Okay, so let's shake it. We're going to look at the roots here. I want y'all to see the roots. I'm shaking all this dirt off. See, the roots aren't bad. And they seem to be alive. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the scissors. They said just give it a little haircut. And every time I cut roots or if I cut a plant, I always, you know what, my blackberry, I'm looking at it down here. It is starting to bloom. I see little blooms on it. I always cut in a slant. And the reason why I cut in a slant, I don't know why, but I know with leaves, if you cut it on a slant, it'll blossom out better. So I just tend to cut on a slant. And I'm not cutting that much. They didn't cut that much. They just cut just a wee bit. Just enough to wake up the roots, to let the roots know, okay, something's happening. I need to do something about this. I need to fight back. And when they fight back, that means that the plant will begin to grow, especially if it has the correct fertilization. So, okay, so I just did the roots. And I'm going to trim right here again. Get these stems off. And I got to take my glasses off to inspect this really good. I believe, you know what? I believe this plant is still alive. It just needs to take off. So let me get some of these dead leaves off. This crown is still alive. I can feel it and tell. Okay, strawberry, I'm talking to you now. Okay, I'm doing all that I can for you. I'm trying to save your life here. Okay, and I left the roots a little long. I just cut the edges off of them. Just enough to get it. And you know what? I don't know what, I'm acting a fool now. Sometimes you just got to do. I'm taking 3 drops of the berry tone. I dropped it right on the root ball. Because I want this bad boy to live, okay? Now, I put the berry tone and I put and let's put a drop of black cow on there too. Okay, let's dig through. And strawberries do not get buried deep. We already know that. That crown has to show. So, there we go. You do not cover the crown. You leave enough room. Okay. I gotta give this strawberry a name. And let's put the tag back in because we want to make sure we know this is the white pine. Okay, so now a little more berry tone. Okay. Just around the crown here. And that's it. It looks better already, y'all. I hope y'all can see that. Because I don't know where I'm aimed, okay? I hope y'all can see it, but just in case you can't, this is it. Okay, so let's put this back. So we're going to do the same with the other, but I'm going to get ready to get off of here. I just wanted y'all to see what I did for the strawberries. And okay, there we go. And we're gonna see what this does. We're gonna keep an eye on it. And I think getting with his friends and daughters and sons, because you know that's the mother plant. I think that getting with his kinfolk, it might give him the will to live, or give her the will to live. So, yep. So there we go. All right. So I'm gonna get off of here. We're at 25 minutes. And I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. I shall return. Bye-bye. And I'm not going to be finishing all this today. I'm just getting those stress plants planted. And I'm going to get everything watered up real good and move on from there. Bye-bye.